Hey, how's it going, boys? We're back at it again, and today I bring to you guys a brand new healer video guide. This one is going to be for PvP, small scale, and skirmishes. Of course, you guys know that's what I do. So, if you like to heal and you also like to DPS, well, worry not, because we got the perfect build for you. And without making this any longer, let's go ahead and jump right into it. And to find more information about this build and any PvP, PvE build that you guys would like to find, well, you guys know where to go. New World Champ. We're gonna find this build under one hand over here on the Flail with the Slapper, or we can also find it in the magical weapons under the Life Staff. We're going to click on it. This build will be running 350 focus, 150 constitution, 100 strength. You don't need more constitution than that. You don't need more focus than that. And 100 strength is a pretty good amount of strength to pull some very nice numbers with the Flail, because at the end of the day, that's going to be our main damaging weapon. So, for the gear, we're going to be running a variation of Refreshing and together with Invigorated. The reason why we're running Invigorated in 4 pieces is because with this healer set, we do not run Michael, and the anti-heals, the rends, the weaken, the exhaust, all of that goes away with Invigorated. And you guys know that for a healer, the most important thing is obviously, you know, the diseases, because the disease is what makes you heal less. And on top of that, the rend, because the rend is what makes you die quicker. So getting rid of both the rends and the disease at a rate of 60% is incredibly powerful if you want to be a successful healer. So yes, on the helmet, we're going to go with Fortifying Sacred Ground, Refreshing, and Invigorated. We're going to try to aim for 4 refreshing, which we do. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 refreshing, make you the maximum cooldown reduction that you need. We're going to be running the 1, 2, and 3, and 4 invigorated. On the helmet, we're going to be using Fortifying Sacred Ground. On the featherweight, the reason why we're using the featherweight is because we want to have the most amount of armor possible. So by utilizing the featherweight and using a round shield, it gives us the opportunity to play with 1, 2, and 3 medium pieces of armor. On the gloves, we're going to be putting Refreshing Divine Embrace, Refreshing Invigorated. On the pants, we're going to be using Hardy Pants. You get this from the Inuit Expedition. They already come with Shirking Energy and Health, so all we gotta slap in there is an Invigorated. And then for the footwear, Health, Refreshing, Invigorated. On the whole set, we're gonna be slapping Opal, because of course you guys know that that's going to be the best protection gem that we can put on the gear for Season 4. And then on the remaining perks that we have, we're just going to slap Health. Like, for example, on the featherweight, we're going to put Health. The Hardy Pants, like I already said, they come with Health. This is basically like a free piece of armor. And then on the footwear, we're also going to put Health, which is going to be rocking 1, 2, 3 healths, 4 invigorated, 4 refreshing weapon perks together with Shirking Energy, which you're going to be light. So this looks beautiful. This looks perfect if you want to use this build. The reason why we go in featherweight is because, again, we want the most armor that we can. You can utilize also the Tumbler Feet Wrap. Just know that you won't have as much armor permanently as you do with the featherweight. And on top of that, you know, it gives you the opportunity to use a round shield and still wear some amazing medium pieces of armor. For the weapons, here we go. For the life tab, we're going to be utilizing Vengeance. Of course, Vengeance is the way to go, because this life that gives you 20% damage pretty much the whole time that you're in a fight, as long as you are healing, which it should never stop. On top of that, the buff lasts 10 seconds, and the buff refreshes anytime that one of the HUDs heals the enemy. So if you hit the enemy with a beacon, with like a orb of protection or sacred ground, those stacking numbers will continue to go up, 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 and up. You know, and if you notice they're running out, then all you have to do is heal one more time. All of the stacks will refresh, giving you that permanently 20% increased damage that you will utilize with this build. For the Flail, we have the Heavy Chain, which already comes with Kingly Jagged and Powerful Eruption. We're going to put an Arboreal Attunement on this bad boy. If you guys want to know where to find the Heavy Chain, well, it comes from Barnacles and Black Powder or 4500 Dark Materia. Not Dark Materia. Freaking, what is that thing called? The matter? Is it dense matter, materia? Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. Just get that at 4500 at the kiln. For the shield, we're going to be using the Night Veil Round Shield. Now, the only reason why we're using the Night Veil Round Shield is because the Night Veil round shield is the only round shield in the game that comes with refreshing move in there. All right, you can go ahead and take this. The only way that you can craft this shield is by going to the marketplace, getting yourself one of the patterns, or if you already have one of the patterns, then congratulations. Just know that this shield will not be 700 gear score. This actually, the maximum gear score that you can put on that shield is going to be 675. Don't worry about the gear score. The main reason why you want this shield is because, like I said, it comes with refreshing move, and it's the only round shield in the game that you can have refreshing move in it. Literally the only one. It also comes with flame conditioning, which is not the best perk, but it's not bad either because you can use it against blunted bosses, against fire staff, you name it, right? And then on the last perk of that shield, you will put the burdening smite, because again, this is for PvP, small scale, and burdening smite is a sensational ability, especially if you're going to be some sort of support weapon. And that will do for the shield and the weapon. Once again, the weapon is going to be the heavy change, powerful eruption, insane amounts of damage. Now, some of you might be asking me, well, Trick, if it is damage what you want, then why not go with Auto, right? Because although in Season 4, whenever the target is knocked down on the floor, you will do 20% more damage to those targets, and also stone enemies. And I'm like, well, that sounds great and all. That is insanely beautiful. But the thing is that with Auto, I only get extra damage, 20% extra damage when the enemy is on the floor or the enemy is stunned, which it doesn't really happen often. I mean, it happens whenever I trip the enemy, but that is like 1 or 2 hits, right? In the other hand, with a life staff, which I already tested this in the PTR, and you get those 20 stacks of empowerment at the speed of light, is so quick because, again, it works with every HUD. So if you have like Healing Breeze, Sacred Ground, Beacon, or Protection, it's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they go up so quickly. And the great thing about the Vengeance is that it works for both weapons, right? If you have the Flail out, you hit that 20% increased damage. And that 20% increased damage is not just going to be for knockdowns and stun enemies. It's going to be for knockdown, stun enemies. It's going to be for the smite. It's going to be for the basic attacks. And it's going to be for people that are standing still, even if they're not knocked down. So that's why Vengeance is such a phenomenal addition to this build, because it just adds 20% more damage to every single one of your attacks. Now, Vengeance comes with King Beacon, which is phenomenal. We're going to be utilizing Beacon for this build, and having that extra 11% critical strike chance is actually quite nice. It comes with refreshing move. You guys know that is pretty much mandatory for life staff. And as for the last perk, I'm gonna go ahead and put Bless. It also comes with Enchanted, but we don't really care. Essentially, this life staff is Bless, refreshing move with King Beacon, and on top of that comes with 20% increased damage, which this is a phenomenal life staff for any DPS aggressive build that you would like to do. For the amulet, we have the Corrupt Progenitor amulet. You guys know it, love it. I love this amulet. It comes with refreshing, recovery, and health. We just slap stamina recovery in there. We on the ring, we're going to be running Healing Breeze, Hardy, and Sacred. This is definitely biz for this type of build and for healers in general. And for the earring, we're going to be using the Endless Thirst. The Endless Thirst got buff for Season 4. The Empowering Toes and the Fortifying Toes are going to be much stronger. And on top of that, the potions in Season 4 with the Endless Thirst will be crazy powerful. If you guys know, for Season 4, Sacred Ground will no longer increase the amount of healing that you get from the potion. So having any extra healing that you can from the potion, which will be Endless Thirst, will help you stay alive and not feel much of a difference as if you did before. Because, for example, Endless Thirst makes your potion 33% stronger, and in Season 4, the potions will be an extra 20% stronger, making your potions heal you for about 53% more than they are currently doing in the live version of the game. Which, if you know, Sacred Ground makes your consumables be 50% stronger. So after the removal of consumables being 50% stronger on top of the Sacred Ground, Endless Thirst will fill in that role to heal you for 50% more from those consumables of yours, giving you once more that insane power with potion. Because as a healer, you shouldn't be chugging potions super often. You should only be using potion whenever you're getting like bursting down, knocked down, or just being focused. And I understand that the 20% extra cooldown on the potion might be a little complicated for some people, but again, you should not be getting killed in that extra 5 seconds of cooldown from the potion, because the potions are going to go from 25 seconds to 35 seconds and it still be 33% stronger. Now, I know that some of you might still think that the potions are going to be 40% longer in Season 4, but no, they went back on that one, so the potions will not be 40% longer. They will still remain as a 20% longer with full effectiveness. For the Heartrune, honestly, you can use whatever you want. You can use Stormform, you can use Brutal Cannon Blast, you can use Vines, you can use Monkey Aid, the Primal Rage ability. It's really up to you. Whatever your play style is, that's the one that I will recommend. As for the Flail right here, we want to get every single one of the points in Smites. We also want to get every single one of the points into Arcane Eruption. This is a very nice heal, sacrificing 1 stack of Weaken. And then we're going to play with Better Together, because Better Together, obviously, it is Better Together. Then we're going to go for the trip. We're not going to get the last point on the trip. This is very important. For the last point that you have down here, you can put it on this one, or you can put it on this one, this one, this one, and this one. It's definitely and 100% up to you for that one last point. You can do whatever you want, and you won't be wrong. For the life staff, this is what we're going to go. We're going to go with Beacon and Sacred Ground. This is going to be our, our 2 AoE abilities. And with these 2 abilities are the ones that we're going to play very, very aggressive, right? You're going to put on the enemy that you're currently fighting, or one of your melee friends, then you slap Beacon on them. All of you getting same movement and speed. On top of that is a very nice healing over time. Sacred Ground, it's a no-brainer. That one always needs to be there. And then the reason why we're getting Divine Embrace and not another AoE healing like Orb of Protection is because since we are playing light gear, right? Since we're playing light gear, there might be times where we get hit a little bit harder than we like. And having a direct heal on demand whenever you want to is very useful for this build. Because like I said, in case that you get from 100 to like 40% immediately quick, and you don't have the time to heal yourself with the HOTS, then all you can do is, you slap yourself with the Divine Embrace. And if you're on top of a Sacred Ground, then it will be insane amounts of healing. So I do recommend Divine Embrace for this type of build. There is another build that I don't recommend Divine Embrace. I will actually recommend Orb Protection. I will go over that build in a little bit from now. It's also a very strong build for Season 4. But this is the one build that I'm recommending right now, especially for Season 4, if you are a solo player. The reason I'm recommending this build is, one, is very powerful. Very, very powerful. This is going to work throughout all of Season 4. It's going to be one of the most rewarding builds for healers in small scale and skirmishes. Let me clarify that and let me make that very clear, right? Small scale skirmishes like 3v3 arenas, open worlds, 1v1s. In OPR, if you're playing with premates, just know that if you're playing like a large scale, like a war content, and people are constantly focusing you, then Rapier might be the way to go, just simply because of the survivability that the Rapier provides to you. But anywhere else outside of that, the Light Staff and Flail, it is incredibly strong and powerful, not only for utility, not only for support, but also to do damage and be able to fight the enemy by yourself. The other, and again, this is a very, very cheap build, because the only thing that you need to craft out of this entire set is the helmet, the gloves, the boots, and the ring. Literally, 4 out of 11 pieces are well, I guess the round shield as well. So, this is free, this is free, this is free. The heavy chain is free, the featherweight is basically free, and the hardy pants, like I show you guys, to get it from the Enid expedition. The other build that I will recommend for Season 4 is just simply way more expensive. Way more expensive, but it will be a build that you can use in small scale PvP and large scale PvP while playing Light Staff and Flail. And that one will be the Shuriken Heals. This is going to be a similar build to this one. It's just that with this one, we're going to go for all 3 of the healing of the AoE healing ability, because we want to constantly be on the move. So you're going to hit the allies or the enemies with Beacon, then use an Orb Protection underneath yourself or your allies. And with these 2 HOTS combined, and on top of that, we're going to be playing with Mending Vortex, which Mending Vortex is incredibly powerful. So all of that healing will be insane. One thing that you can do with this build is obviously you're gonna go with better together, so you're going to be next to your allies all the time. So together with orb rotation, beacon, and better together, and the arcane eruption healing is gonna be so much healing that you don't really need to worry about a single target heal, as long as you're playing next to your teammate. If your teammate is playing somewhere else, then they will drop HP. Now, like I said, this build is way more expensive because for this build you need to craft every single one of your pieces of armor. This build will be playing medium, meaning that you're not going to die pretty much at all. And we're not going to be using Invigorated on the gear. We're actually going to be using a full-on set of Shuriken heals. And now you might be asking, well, Trick, why are you not using Invigorated if Invigorated is the best possible perk for healer? Well, the reason I'm not using Invigorated is because I'm using Michael. And if you use Michael, you don't need to use Vigor or Invigorated, because Michael will get rid of every single one of the debuff that you have on you by simply blocking for a little bit, like maybe like a second to 3 seconds. And all the debuff will be gone off you if you're using Michael. But yes, this is the other build that I recommend. It's called the Shuriken Heal. This one is played in medium, very similar to the other, just way more expensive, but it's also very powerful. And you can use this one, like I said, in small scale PvP, in 1v1, in skirmishes, in arenas, in wars, in OPR. You go to the clump, use your orb rotation, your beacon, and then just go in there and start slapping like crazy. All right, so that is the 2 builds that I will be recommending for Season 4 PvP for the Lifestab small skirmishes. But like I said, today we're going to be focusing mainly on the slapper. And now that I'm done showing you guys the gear, if you guys still watching until this point, do not forget to like the video, subscribe, and share it with a friend if that is something that he needs help with. All right, without any further ado, let me go ahead and show you guys the rotation of this build and how it actually looks in front of a dummy. And we are back, and I'm about to show you guys the rotation. The first thing that I want to talk about is, please do not worry about my purple staff. The only reason I'm playing with the purple staff is because, well, like I was showing you guys earlier, I will be playing with Vengeance once it comes in Season 4, which Season 4 should be today. As a matter of fact, I'm recording this video now on the 12th. Season 4 should be a couple of hours from now, unless it gets delayed, which it probably will be. And once that Season 4 comes out, then I will take my healing ass and I'm gonna go get Vengeance. And there you go. I'm gonna have my full build. Here is my Night Veil round shield with the refreshing move that I was telling you guys earlier. This is my healing build. So yes, that is the main reason why I'm using the freaking purple life staff, is because I don't even care, because I'm gonna get my Vengeance today. So before I actually start telling you guys how the rotation works, if this is your first time playing healer, or maybe you've been playing healer now for a while, there's a couple of settings that you as a healer should take care of before you actually start playing as a healer. The first thing will be, you will go to game. Once you go to game, you will go to healing over here. Once you are healing, you're gonna click on the more option thingy right here. Make sure that you have the settings the way I do. This is mainly for small skirmishes, right? You want your freeform camera on, that way you don't lock whenever you're healing a target. Let's say that's an ally, and if you have that setting locked, that means that whenever you're healing that ally, even if you're looking this way, your camera will automatically lock to the person that you're healing, and that is extremely annoying. With that turned off, that means that you can heal in whichever direction, even if your ally is behind you. So please go ahead and do that right away. That will be insanely good. And it's just so annoying having the target locked. And the next setting that we're going to be talking about, you guys gonna go to setting, keybind, and scroll a little bit down until you see Lifestaff Combat. And on the Lifestaff Combat, immediately put yourself a keybind for target self. This is mandatory. Everybody that plays Lifestaff should immediately do this. All right, and on top of that, you have target group member 1, 2. That way you can have some sort of quick cast to your allies in arenas. That way you don't have to select which member you want to heal whenever the heat of the battle is going on. So if target 1 is like, you know, very low HP, then you can press that one button. For example, we can put that is let's say no, this is for one of my ping, this is for another one of my pings. A keybind that I don't have, a keybind that I don't have, I don't have, all of my keybinds are taken. Anyways, you see how I have over here number 8, that's gonna be my self heal. Then it's gonna be for the other thing. You press A, and instead of healing over there, right, you will heal on top of yourself. And if you were to have that keybind for one of your allies, instead of You press that one button, then you press the ability to cast it, and that ability will be casted on top of that ally without you having to personally be looking for that person, or even if that person is behind you. Now, the self-casting is very, very useful because it makes you cast incredibly fast. So here, I'm gonna show you guys, if I wanted to cast Sacred Ground on myself, but I don't have a self-cast key, first of all, the Sacred Ground will not appear on top of me. If I were to press the self-cast key, the Sacred Ground will immediately appear on top of me. So let's say that you're healing yourself and you want to use Sacred Ground. This is the normal way. You will have to press Sacred Ground and then press it on top of you. That is going to take way too much time. You don't want to do that. And the same with the other heals, like this heal, right? If you want to heal yourself and you want to use Divine Embrace and you try to heal, well, there you go. I just heal a piece of ground that it will never say thank you back to me. So the way that you self-heal yourself is, well, get that keybind immediately situated, the self-targeted key. And then the way you do it is before you use the healing ability, not after. Before you're using the healing ability, you press that button. So in my case, I will hold that A button. So right now it's already pressed. So if I were to use Sacred Ground, look how immediately quick we'll cast it on top of my feet. Boom, just one button. I will cast it on top of my feet. I don't even need to look where I'm at, right? Now, I continue to hold that keybind and look at Divine Embrace right now. I press it once, and that Divine Embrace will automatically be casted on yourself. If this is target 1 and that's target 2 for Arena, and then you press that button to heal target 1, and you press the heal, then it will immediately heal target 1 with the press of one button. Well, technically 2 because you're holding the other button. And those two keybinds, those two settings are very, very nice and mandatory pretty much whenever you're gonna heal. Take off the target healing, just take that off, right? Select the freeform camera and then get yourself a keybind for self-cast and allies that you're helping. Now, let's go ahead into the rotation of this build. It's not gonna be that long because obviously we're talking about lifetime and Flail right here. Just remember your main healing ability for this build. I guess I had to say it. It will be Beacon, and Sacred Ground. If you are on top of these two things, you can basically just go ham on the enemy, hit them as much as you want, just do a roll here and there just to not kill yourself, of course. But when it comes to the Flail, Trick, what rotation do I do with the Flail? Well, worry not. The Flail rotation is extremely easy, and all you have to do is, man, spam click like a maniac. All right, left click is going to be your bread and butter. And that's about it. All you have to do is left. No, I'm kidding. So it's not just going to be left click, all right? It's obviously going to be a combination of Smite, Trip with Arcane Eruption. So the reason why we're not getting the last point on Trip is because we don't want the heavy attack to happen. And the reason why we don't want that heavy attack to happen after the Trip animation is because we can do way more damage if we don't do that. Simply, if you do a Trip and you do the heavy attack, then the enemy will get up after the heavy attack. But if you don't do the heavy attack, you can actually pump a lot of damage. You do the Trip, then you will do one light attack, then you will do the Arcane Eruption for a total of 3 hits. This is the same as if you were to play Spear. If you use a leg sweep and you use coup de grace, yes, you do a very nice amount of damage. But if you use leg sweep and then you do a bite attack, a light attack into a Cyclone, you will do way more damage than if you were just to do one coup de grace. So we're going to apply the same concept for the Flail. So we're going to be doing the Trip, light attack, Arcane Eruption. And that is going to be the bread and butter combo right there of this build, right? And then look how quickly the abilities are going down. And that's not even with refreshing move, right? There you go. I'm gonna refresh move a little bit out of it. I'm gonna show you guys the combo one more time. So it's gonna be Trip into light attack into boom, Arcane Eruption. And that's going to be your, once again, your bread and butter combo there. There's going to be your burst rotation. There's going to be your main damage rotation. That is going to be what you want to be doing pretty much all the time. Just please make sure, if you don't have Arcane Eruption on cooldown, if you don't have it ready to use, right? And you mainly want to use damage, well, guess what? You can also do a Trip into a light attack Smite. Just know that if you do that light attack into Smite, the enemy might get up on time and not get hit by the Smite. So the best approach for you to do right there, if you don't have the Arcane Eruption ready to go, just simply go into a Trip into Smite, right? Since we're not doing the second attack on the Trip, that means the Smite will be able to land on top of the enemy, no problem whatsoever. So we got 2 rotation we can do. We can do the Trip into the Smite, but we can do the Trip into basic attack, Arcane Eruption. And then as the enemy's trying to get away from you, that's when you're gonna hit him with a smite, because the smite has a great range. It has a beautiful explosion in front of you. It's very hard for the enemy to dodge, and that's how you'll be taking down the enemies that are running away. Obviously, you don't always need to save your smite to use that full-on combo. You can be using smite on cooldown. Anytime that you have smite ready to go, just slap that bad boy in there. Why? Simply because it's going to apply, you know, that weaken on the enemy. Is going to do a lot of damage. And since we have burning in smite, that means that we're going to increase all of the cooldowns that they have on themselves. And again, it's an insane tool for utility, for support, and anything that you want to do. Now, I know that some people might be, well, Drake, why are you even using a round shield for this build? Then why not use a Kai shield, Drake? Kai shield already comes with refreshing move. Kai shield staggers the enemy whenever you hit him with a smite. It is phenomenal, it's wonderful. Well, yes, Kai shield is great, it's amazing. It gives you more cooldown reduction. It gives you the stagger on smite. But the thing about the Kai shield is that if you use a Kai shield, then you will utilize light armor on your gear, right? Making you way squishier than what you should be. And on top of that, with a round shield, if we go to the flail and we look into the smite, right? The flail smite with a round shield smite deals 20% more damage, right? More base damage. Is pretty good. Pretty good for that smite damage, which once again, all we're doing right here is damage. We're not playing with the Shuriken Heals build, the one that I show you guys, the one that you play medium, that is all about supporting and stuff like that. Absolutely not. This build, it's all about damage, and that's where we're going to go with all of the damaging stuff, all right? So once again, basic attacks whenever your abilities are on cooldown, or whenever you just want to harass the enemy. Look how quickly these basic attacks for the flail come out. Is unbelievably good. These light attacks are insane, and whenever you have an opportunity, hit them with that trip basic attack into an arcane eruption. The enemy's trying to run away, they hit them with a smite, and then in the meantime, just spam your left click and get all those cooldowns back. Look at my cooldowns coming back. I already have trip into basic attack, arcane eruption again, boom, a smite. It just beat them all up. That's pretty much it for this build. It works phenomenal. It works beautiful. I hope you guys enjoy utilizing this build in Season 4. Go out there, have a lot of success, annoy the shit out of people. The great thing with this build is that, again, boys, you can heal, you can support, you can actually fight back. You are your own person. You don't need your DPS to kill the enemy. You can kill the enemy. You don't need your DPS to CC the enemy. You can CC the enemy. You can do everything that you want with this build. The sky's the limit. Kind of like cheesy shit, like I don't even know. Anyways, I'm gonna show you guys now some games, some clips, some arena matches that I did record yesterday for this build, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys out there.
That's my bad. That's my bad. 2v2. 2v2. Yo, they got to take out Trick though, because he's too solid as a healer right now. They got to take him out. We got a full focus. You know what I mean? Yo, don't fight him unless you're full health, bro. Jonathan Seagal. Dude, that healer build is pretty solid.